Hello everybody, welcome back to the ovals. Short track time in the ARCA series here at Thompson Motorsports Park. Should be fun, 45 laps. I think it's a little bit shorter than what we did at Langley. Starting second, had third, and then tried to get enough out of the lap to grab the pole. I think I was decent through 1 and 2 on the second lap and then screwed it up 3 and 4, so we start on the outside, which will be fun. Outside's not the worst place to be here, although I don't think I'm running quite as high here in this as I was in the Super Late model a few weeks ago, but try to do what we can, survive the melee, hopefully just get away clean, have a decent finish. Car number 6, weaker field, which I expect for being late in the week on a short track in ARCA, so try to do what we can, see if we can grab a top 5 out of this, just avoid the carnage and not self-spin myself off a corner either. That's the big goal, so get ready to go. Leader's gonna have a massive advantage. There's not much I can do about that.
Okay, Jake, here we go.
These cars off.
Go, go, go.
Leader's off and rolling. One gets a better start on the inside, so we just have to let him go. We'll slot into third. Oh, I completely overcooked 1 and 2, so now we've got the 12 to our inside. He takes the spot away, so really had a terrible start. Back to 4th. Trying to slot in here and just work our way through the race. Long way to go.
P4.
Obviously not a good opening lap for me, but plenty of time. One actually took the lead away. Trying to pull away from the 16. I hope he kind of stalls the rest of the field out so I can build a little bit of a gap.
The guy ahead's last lap time is a 20.84.
Watch out for contact between the 1 and the 3. I don't know how often these guys run around each other.
P4.
He's looking like he's trying to get back to the lead. So I'll start to fall off a little bit as well, so I'm not going to want to sit behind the 12 for too long. I'm just going to have to try to find a way off. 12 cuts down off of 2, kind of defends that inside line. He's going to try to make a run to the inside on the 3. Watch him push up. He gets a little loose there off of turn 4.
New fastest lap for green, 20.78.
Clean racing so far, taking it a little bit easy. Tires. Trying to keep pace, but not overcook the tires. I want something left. Last part of the race, we've got one slow car down low, up ahead. 2's working his way on the inside of the 16. 16 gets loose in turn 4, drags the wall. It's going to let the 2 by without any issue.
Fastest lap for Kelly, 20.75.
We're rotated there in the center of 2. So it was timed everybody up front. Thankfully the 2 was not that close behind me. Just take it easy, the right rear is going to be hot now. Top 3 all tight together. Backing it down a little bit to cool the right rear off. We'll get some more drive off the corner. Loose there again off of turn 2. Not as bad as last time. Just gotta be a little bit smoother on the throttle.
That's a new fastest lap for green, 20.75.
I'm hitting that bump the wrong way where I'm in the throttle, so. And I'm feeling the pressure from the 2, trying to push the pace a little bit. So he gets a little loose. Not sure if he tapped the wall there out of 4. He's working by the 19, who's the slow car. We're all going to go
Right
low
side.
out of turn 4 to get
Clear
by him.
high.
You've just done a 21.00.
Definitely catching up to the 12. I've got the 2 right on the back of me, so just gonna try to do the best I can. Another slow car, about half a lap. 12 drags the wall going into 1. Loose there, allows the front 3 to pull away. He's still trying to look low off of turn 2 on the inside of the 1. I almost get the wall. 2's going to take advantage of that. He's going to jump to the inside. He backs out. Loose moment. Start entering a little bit lower just to try to protect against the 2. I know he's going to try to cut underneath. We're all getting stacked up here. A couple cars that seem to be a little bit faster than others, so we have a battle for second, and this wall's barely hanging on to that one.
That lap time was
Try the entry
21.13.
just a little bit. He's hanging on to the back of the 2, and it's a little bit back to the 14. Temporarily opening up on the 2.
That was a
He's kind of
21.03.
just laying back, cooling the tires off, trying to wait for a run. Or when I do
On
that.
your right. He's
I
clear.
made such a bad move
Yeah, on
there
the
out
right
of turn
side.
2. It's going to cost me 2 spots.
Still
Like
there.
an idiot. So we
Hold
drop
your line.
out of the top 5
Clear
to
outside.
6th, thankfully. 14 was so far behind, no
P6.
pressure.
That lap time was 21.81.
Just pushed a little too hard there out of turn 2. Got one slow down low, that's the 18. He was off the track at least. Let's see what the 2 can do with the 12. 8 will catch up to the 2 and we can just freight train the 12 and I can get back to 5th. Got no pressure from behind, so we just really need to do enough to just hang with everybody. Don't need to drive it any harder because it's pretty tough to pass right now. 8's getting the wall. Got 25 to go. So still over half the race left. So I was trying to look to the inside of the 1, was not quite there. 2 wasn't close enough to take advantage on the outside of that. I had a really bad 2 that last
Okay,
time.
Jake, as the car exits in the pits, heads up.
Pulls away. Again,
That last lap
thankfully,
was a 21.34.
no pressure from behind. 16 got by the 14. I think the 13 did as well. Yeah, 14's falling way back, but they're almost 2 seconds back, so. Pressure that way. We got a slow car up ahead. Looks like that's the 14, actually. So, something happened to the 14.
You got one inside.
You've just done a 20.
Clear low.
They're him over-rotated in the center of 1 and 2. And I am just driving so bad right now. Got the right rear a little hot, need to settle down. Let it cool off.
Half distance. Fuel looks good. The gap to green ahead is increasing. It's now
Soft touch
0.85.
on the throttle
lap
pedal
time
will
was a
help me more, even if I'm
21.37.
giving up some time now.
P6.
Drove the entry to 3 there. So he's trying to work to the inside of the 12. I dragged the wall down the front stretch. Can't get off of it. Thankfully that little bit's not going to do any harm to the car. Almost a second and a half back. 8 though, so Throwing everything away. I had my moment up front and blew it. It's falling off the back of the 2. 2's falling back behind the 12. 12's done everything he needed to do to hold on to 3rd so far. Continuing to pull away from the 13,
green
so
in front is now 1.00.
should at least finish where I'm supposed to in 6th. Just trying to see if I can mount a charge. At least give myself a chance at a top 5. But I'm gonna need to start taking big chunks of time out of it to do that. He gets a little loose off of turn 4. Slightly overdrove the entry 1. We got contact between the 2 and the 12. 8 checks up for it. We're going to try to take advantage of that.
He's still there.
Inside.
Clear.
For him. Got a little loose, but we stay in front, so that puts us into 4th. I have to look and see what happened between the 2 and the 12. Should be able to stay in front of the 8. I felt like I was about the same pace as him, maybe a little bit faster. Although as I say that, he'll probably step up the pace big time. Drags the wall down the front stretch. That gives me just a little bit of room. Everybody's on edge. You saw the 2 do the same thing as well. Drags it again. 8 gets it again. 1 and 3 are gone. $15 to go. Back into 4th at least. I don't think I have anything for the 2, but bigger goal is to not overdrive the car. Just keep myself ahead of the 8, make it as tough for him to pass me as possible. Trying to be as smooth and as light on that throttle in the center of the corner as I can. Just enough to help the rotation without getting too fast. We got one that spun to the inside. He drives it in a bit deeper. He's going to get there. He's going to try to look to the inside off of turn 2. Not quite there yet. We'll see if he dives to the inside into 3.
P4.
Try to take a slightly defensive line to that.
All good, man. No problem. You're good.
That was a 21.48.
So he's going to look at the same thing again. Tries to get a run off of turn 2. 1 has pulled away from the 3 now. 2's almost run the 3 down. Able to open up a little bit more of a gap that time on the 8. 10 to go this time by. Start to pull away a tiny bit from the 8. Time I seem to be getting just a little bit of better exit out of the corners compared to him, which allows me to open up the gap a little bit more. Wish we could run ARCA on the short tracks all the time. I actually enjoy this a lot, even if I'm not good at it. Actually have a lot of fun. The car's a lot of fun to drive on short tracks. Half a second ahead of the 8 now. Feeling like you might have cooked the right rear a little bit trying to get to me. Keeping about even pace.
That was a
12.
21.53.
He's recovered back to 6th. But he's 5 seconds back, so I think as long as I can keep it straight, the worst I could do is finish 5th, although
The gap to green behind is
The
increasing.
8 screws
It's
up.
now
He's almost a
1.03.
second back now. Across the line. Just taking over to 1 second on the relative. Two's falling back of the 3. 3 starting to pull back up towards the 1. Don't think he has enough time to get there. Barring some issue with lap traffic for the 1. We're opening up still on the 8, so 5 to go. Feel like we're in a good spot to grab top 4. So that sucks after qualifying second, but not much I can do there.
That lap was at 21.50.
Got a break to get the free spots out of the 12 wrecking, and then the 8 slowing down for that, but I feel like I did a pretty good job recovering after having that slide off a turn 2. Gap stands at about 1.3 backs at the 8.
Was at 21.50.
Kind of running about 90%, just trying to stay enough to stay ahead of the 8, but not run the risk of overdriving it
The
and
gap in front is
wrecking.
now 2.2.
The 18 slow, able to avoid him, that was close. Opens up a big gap. The 8
2
slowing
laps
down.
remaining.
2 to go. I can take it even easier around lap traffic, because I don't think we're somehow going to find a second and a half over a lap. Especially when the 2 has cleared the 9. White flag.
That lap was at 21.53.
Fast time through 3 and 4, just gotta keep it straight. Avoid the 9. Just gonna take it easy, sit behind him. No reason to risk it. Got plenty of gap back to the 8. Alright, take 4th. He said, stayed inside the top 5, that was the goal.
P4.
Or
That's the
got
end
back
of the
to
race.
inside the top
We'll get it
5.
next time.
Not as good as the second place. Would have liked to finish better. I think the 1 was just so quick. I had nothing for him, and even the 3 and the 2 were quite a bit quicker, which in theory they should have been, but I'll take it. At least clean to try to build up the safety rating. Let's take a look and see what happened to the 12. Definitely some contact. Looks like the 12 might have just had either an off track or 1x out of it. I don't know. Let's see what happened to him. I'm gonna hope that the 16 is talking. Yeah, looks like he's talking to the 7. Well, since that seems to be drama, we can look at that as well. Alright, so to the lap before, 2's closing in on the 12. 12's running that defensive line and then cutting down all the way to the bottom, which is lower than I had wanted to run. I didn't feel like I could get a very good run out of the corner doing that, but I understand what the 12's trying to do. Man, he overdrove turn 3, gets loose there. It's getting a little loose off of turn 4. 2's still sitting behind him. Oh, yeah, the 2 just gunned it and got to his back. Sent him around. Let's watch that again. I mean, to me, there's nothing else. Like, the 2 just gets on the throttle a little sooner than 12 gets in the left rear and sends him around. So, tough break for the 12. Don't know if the 2 intended to do that. The 2 had been pretty patient with me, but I guess maybe he got tired of it, or it was just, he thought he was going to get back to the throttle a little bit sooner, try to get on it. Say this deal between the 7 and the 14 or 16. Let's see what happens here. So, last lap. 7's catching the 16. This is for 7th place, I believe. Seven just drives it in, gets right into the back of the 16, sends him around. And that was a bit rough. Just sent it in hard in the middle of 3 and 4 and got him. It was definitely rough. So, yeah, so we get the top We'll take a look at tires really quick. 93, 91. Tires were pretty even, so pretty happy with it for the most part. I definitely, obviously, had a lot of work to do to have the pace to keep with the front three, but for screwing up out of turn 2 halfway through the race or so, and then slowly recovering. I mean, I got the benefit of 2 free spots basically from that wreck between the 12 and the 2, but felt really good about regrouping, getting the car back balanced, keeping it within my control instead of, trying to push really hard and then overdriving it, making more mistakes and compounding it. Felt pretty good about the recovery. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Let me know your thoughts on a couple of wrecks we looked at, and if you've had any success here or what you've done that's worked if you've run here this week. And try to grind out some safety rating, get you hopefully an A fixed at Iowa, and I don't know, maybe winner NIS, Phoenix. I don't know. We'll see to finish the week out. But hope you guys enjoy that one. And until the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.